Hello and welcome everybody. On behalf of Team Sauerland, a very warm welcome. It's great to be back in Herning with the Nordic Fight Night. And also the Viking warrior, Kessler, is back in Herning on December 8th in this beautiful new arena. Jyske Boxen, he will face Brian Magee, who joins us here with his manager Pat Magee for the WBA Super Middleweight World Championship. And we are here to kick off this promotion and answer all questions. And we're also joined by Georg Sørensen, the director of MCH. Kalle, first question to you. Brian Magee has, done some business in Denmark already. He has stopped Mats Larsen, he has stopped Rudi Markussen, and now he wants to complete his hat trick. So this really is a question of honor for Mikkel.
Good afternoon, everyone, first of all. Look, we've had all of you have been enjoying your summer holidays. I've been busy looking for the next steps for Mikkel. I know a lot of the media have been calling me on a, I wouldn't even say daily, but hourly basis for updates. What's come out of it is something that I think is going to be a very, very special event. Pat Magee is a very hard negotiator. But at the end of the day, we both wanted the fight, and I'd have to say I give full credit to Brian Magee, who could very easily have also taken other big fights, knowing that he could always say, well, I beat the two other best guys in Denmark, and I think it's a big credit that he's sitting next to me here today. And I think it's going to be a great fight. You know, I know there's a lot of storylines, you know, the question of honor. If anyone knows about the Sauerland history in Germany, it comes from an event from very early in the 90s or the mid 90s from Henry Masker Rocchigiani at the time, which was one of the biggest events in German history. And you know, I thought it was a very fitting motto for this. I mean, it's a world super middleweight championship fight. There's not an interim fight like some have been mistakenly reported. It's confirmed by the WBA. This is for the full super middleweight world championship, and we will have a lot of storylines. There's a lot of storylines, not just the storylines, of course, that this is a question of Mikkel taking revenge for his countrymen, or Mikkel becoming world champion for a record fourth time. But this is, at the end of the day, down to two great athletes who will stand across the ring from each other, and then it won't be talking about any more stories. It will just be man against man, and that's, at the end of the day, the nicest thing in boxing.
Thank you, Kalle. Brian, you opened the Nordic Fight Night with a victory over Rudi Markussen, and you've proven your heart and your class as a champion to travel abroad and clinch some spectacular victories. What do you think of fighting here in this beautiful arena and take on Mikkel Kessler on December 8th?
Yeah, it's been here in the arena, actually seen it firsthand. It's an amazing arena. It'll be it'll be a fantastic night for me. This will be the highlight probably of my career, fighting such a great champion as Mikkel. You know, I've watched him as a whole boxing career, so I'm actually a big fan of Mikkel. So actually being and actually fighting him and fighting for the world title, it's a big honour for me. So you know, everybody wants to be a world champion, and that includes me, and that's why I'm still fighting and fighting so hard. So I'm looking forward to the fight. Come back to Denmark. All the fans have treated me so well, and all the promoters here have treated me so well so far. So you know, it's we're very, very welcome to come back to Denmark to fight again, because the last two times has been a fantastic experience, and hopefully this time will be just the same. Fingers crossed.
Mikkel, you come off a spectacular victory against Alan Green at Parken. What has your summer been like? And I guess you've been training the whole time, basically.
Yes, I've been training a lot. I've been on a vacation too. I feel good. You know, it's awkward for me fighting 2 times a year, and have no injuries. So it's a new thing for me, and that's why I still have a very good shape. Of course, I had some vacation, but I kept my training, and I didn't have to go 1 year to get a new fight. And of course, it's a big honor for me to fight Magee. I had him as a sparring partner once. Very nice guy. You can't get mad at him. But I know when the bell rings, we're not friends.
Thank you very much, Mikkel. Pat, question for you. You know Brian better than anybody else. Why do you think will he win on December 8?
Well, of course, a big advantage for us is having been in Denmark twice before and had very good wins, which is the reason we're here today. I mean, Brian, and as Calla mentioned earlier, there has been some confusion over what position Brian holds in the WBA. The position which Brian holds in the WBA is he's the #1 contender, he's the interim champion, and since I won the purse bids for him to fight the previous champion, Carly Balzai, who has since retired due to illness, this fight is for the vacant regular WBA title. Now, on the night, it's a question of whether Brian walks into the ring as the champion or whether he's walking into the ring as equal to Mikkel Kessler in a vacant title fight. That is yet to be decided. But one thing for certain is that the fight is for the WBA regular title. And I'd just like to say that when Brian became the mandatory challenger for the title, and when we had the opportunity of deciding whom Brian would box for the title, we were informed by the WBA that Brian could have picked anyone in the top 15 of the WBA ratings, or anyone who would qualify for a world title fight. And at that stage, we drew up a select list, and the top of the list, would you believe, and Brian's first choice was Mikkel Kessler, because he felt himself that this was the fight which would raise him to the standards that he always wanted. So it's not a question of Calla Sauerland luring us to Denmark. We picked coming to Denmark. It's true that negotiations have taken a long time, but I mean that's my job, and I think we've got.
And you do it well.
we've got a great fight here. I think that the Danish fans are going to see something that is something special, and I hope that the arena will be filled out on the night. And certainly our first impressions of the arena are, we think it's just absolutely wonderful. It's something we didn't expect. We didn't know that this was the arena, by the way, and I can remember back when Mikkel boxed and beat Carl Froch, and of course the British press were somewhat miffed about that result. The arena where that fight was held was called a shed, and I think this cannot be called a shed. We will have no excuses. This is the type of arena that Brian wants to box in, and this gives us a lift. And Brian will be ready. Brian will be ready on the night, and we're looking forward to December 8th.
And I'm looking forward to the golf holiday in Ireland that Pat promised me for next year. Just a quick one to the choice of arena. There is a little storyline which I think George you'll talk about in a second. It was of course as always a difficult decision. There are one or two other major venues in Denmark, but at the end of the day, we planned a long time ago. There's I think even some pictures, George, where George took me in and said, "Calla, we're going to have in 1 year this place finished, and it's going to look like the O2 World in Berlin or in Hamburg." And I said, I went away. I said, "Oh, George, very impressive, But when I walked away, I thought this guy's nuts, I said, "There's no way that this place is going to look like this in 1 year." And 1 year later, I was sitting with Mikkel a few rows behind us here, and we were at the Lady Gaga concert. And I said, "Christ, this guy actually has managed to build this arena in this space of time." It is one hell of a place, and I think it is the first boxing event in Jyske Bank Boxen, and I think there's no more fitting event than this. And we couldn't, if we were standing there those years ago, if we would have put a let's say a Hollywood script to it, this is it, and we're looking forward to christening the arena.
Well, it was certainly two special fights we had here in Herning already, against Perdomo with Mikkel and against Froch, and the atmosphere was fantastic the last time, but in this new arena, I guess it will be even better. George?
hopefully. And you're right, Callan. It was a dream. Now the dream come true. We are ready. Jyske Bankboksen is ready for Magee and for Mikkel Kessler. And it is the third time you are here again, Mikkel. And you are on your home ground again. You have been a little away, but as Callan said, it was in the plan that you would come back. So thanks for that to both of you. Also to the family Magee, a warm welcome to you. We'll be ready for you also. So to hosting such a world-class event is a part of the plan. We have, as Kalle mentioned, we opened the 20th of October 2010 with the big Lady Gaga show, and yeah, next month we have 2 years anniversary. So we have had shows, we had top music, top handball, the championships, and now also world-class boxing. And that's very important for me to understate that that is a part of the plan. Now the dream will come through, and personally, I look very forward to see Mikkel Kessler versus Magee, because the historical match in Hall M in 2010, you might remember it. You wrote about it, and you said it to us, the team of the press, the best match ever on Danish ground. So now we are back, all of us. I look forward to a hopefully good and intense match between two of the best boxers in the world. Thank you.
And I might add that the tickets go on sale on Monday morning, I believe at 10 a.m. on billetnet.dk. And let's see how many people will make this a real spectacle this time out.